Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 12th of December. Looking at the euro dollar first, and well, we've seen a bit of a move through the Asian session and picking up a little bit. Maybe a bit of the good news hitting the eurozone with the Italians looking like they're forming a new government, so that may be helping things. This time last week, we were looking at an Italian government that were falling apart, so some good news off that. Um, We have got a bit of divergence technically on the 4 hourlies here on the euro. We've got the weekly pivot above, maybe a break above the 4 hourly 8 may give us the root that will correspond with the hourly 34, may give us a sort of track back, a bit of a bounce here. Now we're obviously sort of coming back to these dailies on the left hand side here, and you can see we're round about the lows. Now we've had these lows tested a couple of times. Well, maybe. There is a chance if it cannot hold up where it is, runs into the 4 hourly 8, rolls over, that we could see those tested and broken, or at least attacked again, looking for that 1.05 area if it does run that way. But for now, erring a little bit on the morning side of things towards the bullish side, but we'll see how we run. The pound started picking up this morning already, just having a little bit of a run after sitting there in the consolidation phase most of Friday. It's got a weekly pivot above, which could be a draw. It's it's a marginal gainer with the price of oil all of a sudden flying up over the Asian session. Just to bring that into play as the big move today, it's where the oil's shot up there on the agreement of oil prices, non-OPEC companies, countries agreeing for cuts. So the non-OPEC given the big push here, and given the chances of oil pushing up even further at this rate. So with that in mind, well, we're seeing, as I say, some of the countries that have oil resources benefiting. Now cable has a chance of doing so, although it's not major, it's still there. One that doesn't have oil source, its own oil reserves, etc., and normally used to be an inverted oil price, is the dollar yen, and we're seeing that at the moment pushing up even further. It's pretty overbought. Dollar yen has been for some time, but it's continuing in that mode at the moment. I'm sort of looking to the upside only really here at the moment. Maybe a break of the hourly 21s would give us a short position later in the day if we continue in this route, but at the moment it's looking like it may want to just push on through the European session. Aussie dollar, slight gainer as well in terms of so far, but it may benefit more as we run through the day. It's for me the most safest part of being long on the Aussie dollars if it does break the hourly 50, but it's been in such a snappy, choppy sort of zone over the last week or so in this region where it's been sitting. It's actually probably more than that. It's been sitting in that period, but and that's around those levels. But if it can start breaking up, break the highs here, well, then we might still get some proper movement out of the Aussie, maybe back to the daily 50 at some point. But for now, as I say, it really needs to start breaking up on the hourlies. It's probably a bit easier if it breaks the hourly 50. Well, then we could look to last week's highs, Friday's highs even, initially. Okay, Aussie and of course the Canadian dollar doing well this morning. It's left a gap behind. But at the moment it may benefit some more, already down to its monthly S2, could continue and carry on this route. See how oil continues this morning, whether it levels out, but it has got untouched daily pivot, weekly pivot, but they may and the gap to the upside, so there's plenty that and there's some divergence where it sits at the moment, but it really needs to start breaking and pushing a bit stronger. It's not one of those. It's one of those I'd rather be waiting for it to do something than trying to counter trend this one or trade this one at the moment, at least. So really, to me, possibly the best of this morning's crop. Well, cable unfortunately looks like it's just going to run straight away before 8 o'clock. But if it doesn't and it leaves us some upward scope towards that weekly pivot, I'd be looking for that. And the euro equally, if it can get back above its daily pivot, above the 34 there, I'd be looking at the potential of it recovering somewhat towards that weekly pivot. That's it for me. Have a great one. Bye for now.